Good morning, everybody. For those of you who did not, who just came in, we actually convened the General Assembly at 9 o'clock. We have a quorum, and we can begin. Thank you all for coming, and welcome to the Marie Curie Alumni General Assembly, and also for coming to the annual conference. Welcome to Vienna. My name is Matthew DeFranco. I'm the chair of the MCAA. To my left here is Murat Gunesh, the secretary of MCAA, and to my right, Bala Atili, treasurer of MCAA, and Mustafa Munir Shawaf, the vice chair of MCAA. Our other vice chair, Valentina Ferro, could not make it to the event, so she sends her regrets. She's actually in Seattle. So I guess this General Assembly, as you can see in the agenda, is our annual meeting where the entire membership of the Marie Curie alumni convenes once a year by law in Belgium in order for us to approve our annual activities, to approve our financial reports, and to basically give you the opportunity to communicate with the board and the executive committee, anything that you would like to talk about. So I will begin the program now by asking our project officer, Odysseus Panopoulos, to come up to the stage from the European Commission and say a few words about MCAA.
Hello, everybody. I'll be quick. I know that we have a habit of boring people to death by long speeches. I will not do that. If you want to put a face behind this project, there are two faces here, and there is no third face, really. One is mine, and the other is my ex-colleague and friend, Mike Rogers, who is pretending he doesn't hear me now. No, please stand up, Mike. The ideas for this project come mainly from him and the implementation and everything. What I can say, this started in 2013, has very humble origins, like 80 people being invited in Brussels and being told that this is what we think should be created, and that the European Commission has decided to put money in this project, and you have to vote for a board, and etc., etc. Really, really humble beginnings. Yesterday, when I was sitting at the board meeting, because ex officio member there, it was like watching a UN convention, because at some point I counted something like 40 people around the table, and I started to panic and thinking, you know, maybe this organization is becoming too big and it needs both more support or even a different kind of support. So that's to be decided by you, of course. What else do I have to say very quickly? The size of the organization, yes. The initial board, I say it openly, was somehow didn't go very well, to the point that I was thinking that this project might actually sink. But then the second board and now this board have done truly fantastic job. I'm amazed that people that volunteer can put so much energy and effort and sometimes frustration into a project. So a big thank you from the European Commission to everybody, all the working groups, chairs, the persons of the working groups, the chapters, and especially the boards and the executive committee that have actually decided to do this and do it every day. I'm telling you, it's a lot of effort. It's not easy. And finally, before I go, there will be a conference day, 1.5 days conference day, starting midday today. I will say this to the limits of what is permissible, is that society in general, the European Union, has decided a long time ago to support research in very, very clear terms. What this means is that people pay their taxes, and then part of their taxes goes to programs that support research, like the framework programs of the European Union. And part of those programs, of that money goes to you as researchers through the Marie Skłodowska-Curie program. So the way I see it, you receive something from society for what you love to do, this support. So I invite you to think what you can give back. Because yes, this is a gift of society to researchers, because society values science and research and rationality and knowledge so much that it does this to the tune of billions. and what you can give back if you're truly capable of being the intellectuals or the aristocracy in this sense of the society, is to give something back to the European Union and thinking how to be really active citizens on top of being scientists, because most of the time that's even more important. I'm not saying anything else, it's up to your own creativity to do it. A big thank you to all of you for actually taking this trip and coming here and supporting this organization. For us, it's a huge success. So without further ado, please have a nice day, enjoy yourselves, and thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you, Odysseus. Just to also extend our thank you to the European Commission and to Odysseus. They are very supportive of what we do, and Odysseus is basically our advocate in the European Commission to make sure that they hear us when we have concerns and that they also give us feedback. And I think it's an extremely successful activity that we're doing here, and we've grown a network of researchers around the world, globally, that communicate together, work together, spend time together, and have kind of built this, this family within the MCA organization. So thank you very much. The next thing I'd like to do is just introduce the rest of our board. So the MCAA is, the executive committee is what you see in front of us, plus in front of you, plus Valentina, and then the full board is also composed of 6 ordinary members. So if I can just introduce very quickly the board members. First we have Maria Gorna, Zsofia Boutel, Renaud Jolivet, and Sarah Ricardo, and Marco Mazia. Are you here, Marco? Okay, well, he's running a bit late. And Nehama Lewis. Nehama? Also running late. So, yeah, they were working extremely hard yesterday. It was a very long board meeting, and I'm not surprised that a few people didn't make it on time today. So with that in mind, I would like to begin our program and start with the approval of the minutes of the General Assembly of 2018. So the minutes are available, and they have been available online, and I guess I would just open up the floor if anybody has any questions regarding the minutes from 2018. Okay, so the way we will proceed in terms of approvals and voting, I will ask for a show of hands. Please put your hands up high if you have any objections or would like to abstain. So I will start by asking, does anybody have any objections to the approval of the General Assembly 2018 minutes? Okay, that seems to be 0. Does anybody have any abstention? Would you like to abstain from voting? Could you raise your hands high, please? Okay, that's 6 abstentions. And I will consider this approved. Thank you. You don't have to clap for approvals, but thank you. Okay, so next I'd like to invite Murat Gunesh, our secretary, to present the report of the 2018 activities, and the floor is his.
Thank you, Matthew. Dear all, good morning, guten Morgen, bonjour, dobre utro, kalimera, labas ritas, namaste, günaydın, Boker Tov, and many other languages in good morning. So, as you see, different ethnicity, culture, country, religious and political view, even different research fields that we are here. But these are not the reasons that we are united in this morning in Vienna. So this diversity actually makes this meeting very valuable. So what is the reason that we are here actually is being an alumni member, Marie Curie Alumni Association. Under this roof, we share, we meet, we network, and we put our ideas for a better future. So for this reason, Marie Curie Alumni Association is organizing many events, activities, meetings, and trainings for our career development. From different perspectives of research field, including being a PhD student, postdoc, and after finishing your grant, so you'll be a researcher or working in industry. Actually, everything starts with the time when you obtain your grant. It's just the beginning, actually. So I would like to continue the report of activities 2018 after the selection of board with a brief information about association for newcomers. The association includes boards, 11 members, 5 of them are executive committee are here, and 6 board members are here. We are supported by European Commission, and we also have chapter chairs which based on locally and working groups. We have 31 chapters with established like new Turkish chapters and the others, and also working groups like policy working group, research funding, which is recently established, business science and bridging working group, networking working group, where you can find your valuable volunteering activities. So now we are more than 13,000 members. So it's actually very good to obtain these numbers, to share more and get more valuable activities and for the society. So as you can see, we have almost gender balance in the association. We organize many scientific panels during many organizations, conferences. We are like engineering, life sciences, as you can see, the diversity. And the country of residences, as you can see, like quite diverse, as I said with these good morning messages, and different nationalities. So what MCAA offers? MCAA offers microgrants, like for example, most of you come here with the microgrants for the General Assembly. We offer also members directory, like contacts, networking, social activities. We also organize like surveys to ask how you feel in the associations and your valuable ideas, which is very important for the development of association. And we also like services and many chapters and working groups organizes events and of course awards. So Marie Curie Alumni Association, as I mentioned, provide trainings in terms of career development, networking, with opportunities in science policy, science communication, and innovation. It's quite diverse from natural sciences, life sciences, also social sciences. We also do like science policy. We're just not doing research because we are, as a scientist, we are responsible for the society. That's why the science policy for the research career is very important. And MCAA put very good and important efforts for the society. And we also do like MCAA frame program 9 position papers that we do these in career projects, mobile researchers, social sciences and humanities, and many others, as you can see from the screen. Another opportunity that recently established, which is MCAA Academy, which is a very, very new platform to bring together experienced scholars willing to give something back and early career scientists and important career crossroads. So MCAA Academy program is based on 2 pillars. One of them is a yearly tutoring program in which mentees are matched with the mentors following career evaluation and identification of corresponding properties or needs. And also, we provide about 500 microgrants depends on the location to support any activities linked with mentees and career development. And mentoring. It's actually been established a long time, but it will be active in very soon, which will be helping you for your career development. We will be asking for mentors and mentees to meet and for their trainings in terms of their career path to develop, and also if you want to change your fields or if you want to get some experience in another field, so please. The website is also available now, but we are now developing and put it into the action soon. We provide trainings. MCAA working groups organizes workshops and training activities that you can find, or when you go to the portal, you can find all these information through the working groups and chapter chairs. For example, Edinburgh Fringe Festival, and the other one like Austrian European Commission Presidency Conference, and many others that you can see networking opportunities. For example, BSP working groups organizing webinars through online streaming about startups, business relations, and academia and related topics. Also, MCAA contributing to the future of research in Europe. During 1 year, there are a lot of activities, but I put here a couple of them. For example, we participated to ESOF with more than 12 sessions from satellite events, mental health, career development, transport and communication, and refugees. So as you can see, quite diverse of research field and scientific approaches. Networking at local events, this is mostly organized by chapters, which had cooperated with the working groups, for example. You can see North America chapter organizing events, and South Asia chapter represents Horizon 2020 Formation Days. So actually, the events is not just related to the research, but also related to the information about the grants, applications, and the social activities and networking. MCAA offer seminars. For example, BSP Working Group organized an event in Paris which was related to the bridging gap between science and industry. So with this respect, we, for example, organized an event with the French chapter. Many participants will get benefits from how to be an entrepreneur, how you can go to the business side if you're not moving on the academia. So in the future, if you're going to change your field from academia to business, so these are good opportunities for you to get informed beforehand. We are taking a part in also policy making. For example, MCAA announced its support for Plan S, which is related to the open access research, as the European Commission mentioned. So the scientific articles are published in many places, which are free, but not everyone can reach without payment. So now this is going to change, and then we are also supporting this idea. And finally, I would like to tell about the Horizon MCAA 2020. You will be telling this, or no? MCAA 2020 conference, which will be held in Zagreb, Croatia. It will be in March 27 and 29, and European Commission presidency will be held in Croatia in 2020. So this is a very good opportunity to organize this next General Assembly and annual conference in Croatia. So please don't hesitate to apply for microgrants, and please be volunteer on the events for your valuable contribution. All events will be much better. And thank you for your time and attention for the presentation.
Okay, thank you, Murat. I just wanted to ask if I could ask for any objections to the annual report of activities. Okay, any abstentions? Okay, that's none. So I will consider that approved. Thank you very much, Murat. So we do a lot of activities, as Murat said, and we are a network of volunteers. We put in a lot of time and effort, and I want to thank everybody who is involved in organizing these activities, the webinars, the programs, the communications. There's a lot going on in MCAA, and everybody who is interested should get involved, would like to get involved. Please join your local chapter where you live. Join the chapter of your country of origin if you want to stay informed about things going on in your home. And also talk to the people involved in the working groups. That's really where a lot of the efforts go. So our policy working group, our communications working group, research funding working group, and other bridging science and business. So I really encourage everybody in the association, if you're interested in taking part and contributing, please do that. However, most of this happens because we have funding, and we also raise money through events and sponsorships and whatnot. So one of the most important parts of this meeting is we have to approve the annual report, financial report. So I'd like to ask Bala now to please present that.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Bala Atli. I'm the treasurer of the Marie Curie Alumni Association. First of all, I'd like to thank one and all here who elected me last year to be treasurer of this everyday growing association. And today I have pleasure to talk to you like 2018 financial accounts. So the last year in Leuven, the new board came with a vision of Vision 2020. We named that board. And we all have several visions for MCAA. And this new board implemented so many things which are already existing in place, and we also implemented some more new things. So one of the first thing I would like to talk is, this financial year, we initiated a real-time monitoring of finances, which is actually an online tool to give board overview of the alumni finances, which like the amount of money we generated and the funding from the commission, the money we generated from various activities and sponsorships, whatever. This sheet also gives you an overview of how much money we are allocating to the various activities of MCAA, to the chapters, to the working groups. And also we can see from this sheet the execution of money, like what percentage chapters and working groups using the money. So this actually gives, in fact, a clear idea, like what chapters and working groups doing in terms of with their finances. And second thing we also implemented in this financial year is MITC, which is additional micro grant. We already have several micro grants in place: micro travel grant, micro media grant, micro general assembly grant, which is the grants you already use here to coming to this general assembly. This micro internal travel grant, MITC, is exclusively applicable for the chapter chairs and working group chairs. This is due to the money allocated for the chapters and working groups, which is solely used for the purpose of development of the chapter and working group related activities rather than their travel. And we also implemented other new rules for the transparent and efficient allocation of the micro grants to the people. And if you see now, the numbers of the association keep on growing. So I was joined in the association 2013, where I was like 470 member in the association. I attended the first General Assembly in Brussels, and I was here, 6th General Assembly, which is 13,120 plus members. So the number of people applying for the micro grants and whatever asking for the career development is also keep on increasing. So if today we see the XCOM has really a great tough time always to give the micro grants. So I would say like it's really as tough as competition like getting a Marie Curie fellowship. And the last thing, this year we also started a research funding working group. It's a new working group. So this research funding working group, in fact, helps the association, also chapters and working groups in terms of securing funding and research funding from the commission or wherever, national and local governments. So actually, there are many volunteers here. Actually, it's a non-profit volunteer organization. So this is always a challenge to raise money for the volunteer associations. So of course, we are very privileged that European Commission is giving such a huge money for this association for running of our activities. And even we also think on the other side, the numbers are keep on growing. We are like one of the association which has a rapid growing rate. But here I would like to present few people who actively contributed to the finances of this year association. So those who don't know about the My Super Science Heroes, the book project from the MCAA, this project generated again 4,000 euros this year like last year. And we also, our working groups also started earning some money to the association. This year, BSB working group chaired by Pavlo Bajlinski also earned like 2,000 euros of money for the association. And this year, MCAA board also started a collaborative project together with Kazi. Kazi is a HR tech startup company. This project was funded by the Flemish regional government in Belgium. So the aim of this project is bridge the expectations gap between PhDs, postdocs from anywhere in the world to the industries in the Flanders. And this project was aimed to focus on the 4 research fields now: chemistry, biology, materials, and biotechnology. So those who are here can go through the link and fill that out. Just go to the MCAA, and where if you search for Kazi, the survey will be open, so you all can open to fill this survey. And the people involved in this team, like Kazi MCAA team, Matthew DiFranco, chair of the MCAA, and Esther Roll, chair of Benelux chapter, Sofia, she's a board member and also chair of Financial Affairs Working Group. Sarah Johnson, she's not here, she's a member of Benelux chapter, and myself and also contractors who helped in this project. This project solely generated 22,000 revenue to the association this year. And the other active part, the major source, the funding generated to the association is our sponsorships from our GA. So if you see this year GA, 2019 GA, the sponsorship team mainly led by Mustafa, is a vice chair and also organizer of this GA, and Jofia, board member and chair, myself and the contractor. So we have actually 4 basic packages here: bronze, silver, gold, and platinum packages with the amount we are offering here. And we also have a custom-made partnership agreements with several other organizations. So if you have any questions for the future partnerships of the association, please write to mariecuriealumni.eu. And this sponsorship team this year generated about 50,000 euros revenue to the association. This is almost 3 times more than the last year what the partnership generated from the GA. So it's really great achievement, and the partnership team is really doing well. And I presented all the sponsors for the GA 29. We have like almost 7 gold partners, and we have about 8 silver partners, and we have some ordinary partners here. So they all will be here soon, and they're arranging their stands outside. So far we are doing good. We are started generating money. So the association governance budget is 300,000, and we started, on top of it, we started earning money, but yet we are not there yet. We still need to have more and more budget with increasing our number of members. If you see, like in 2 years back, we have roughly 8,000 members, and today we are 13,000 members, which is almost doubling like in a very short time. So what else we can do to earn more money to the association, to sustain a non-profit organization in the long term? So actually a few things, like our chapters and working groups are our main ways we are reaching out to the people. So we need to teach or coach our chapters and working group to generate money for the nonprofits. As I mentioned, they're like self-sustainable chapters and working group, which automatically the association will grow and we will stay for the next generations. And we also need to start partnerships with the regional and local governments because we have such a big association with the 13,000 members. And in 4 or 5 years, we will be crossing, or even before that, we will be crossing 20,000 members. So the product of the MCAA is our memberships. So this is what we can sell to the local governments or regional governments or universities or whatever. And I also expect more events from the chapters and working groups. So right now I see like all the chapters and working groups are doing many events. But even now, like also do events in such a way that organizing a career fairs, job fairs with the universities, research institutes, and maybe some industries. And yeah, so to achieve all this, I know like all the chapters and working groups, they're doing pretty well. But we also need to do some of the focus-based workshops for the chapters and working groups. We are planning to do that to support them, like how to generate money for the association. Also, I would like to ask all the chapters and working group chairs, please align with financial affairs working group or research funding working group if you're thinking of doing some events or if you need some ideas like how to generate or attract sponsors for your events. And also we need to follow some of the events which are organized by the external experts, like how to generate revenue for the association. And there is an announcement for all the members here. For the MCA member who is bringing €3,000 sponsorship from this year onwards, they will automatically get a micro grant from the next years. Yeah, so at the end, I'm just, so this is actually, my task is to present you the annual reports. So here are the annual reports. There is so annual reports is a 40-page documents with more than 600 plus transactions happen. It is a 40-page big document. So if I want to print 40 pages into 500 members who are here sitting, it will be 20,000 pages. I don't know how many trees I need to kill for that. So we already send you the annual accounts a month before via electronic documents. And there are also some documents printed and they're staying there if somebody is interested to look into the accounts. And they're always available on the website as well. So just to give you a brief idea what we did like 2017 and 18 in terms of finances. So as I mentioned early in my talk, the commission is our major funding source with the 300,000. And other than that, in the year 2017, from the other events and other activities, we raised 27,000 in addition to the commission's money. As in 2018, we generated 44,000 with the partnership agreements, and we generated under 43,000 euros in terms of events and other activities, which gives the net earning in the 2018, 87,760 euros in addition to the commission's money of 300,000, which means we are almost earning 30,000 money in addition to the commission's money. So these are the expenses of the association. As I explained you, like we are rapidly growing day by day. So in 2017, we paid allocated 260,000 euros for the funding career development of the MCAA, whereas in 2018, we almost allocated like 323,000. We are able to allocate this. We are also started earning some money for the association. So if you see the total expenditure in the year 17 and 18, in the 17 year, we spent like 260,000, whereas year 18, we spent 355, which is 100,000 euros more than the 2017 financial year. So I would like to just justify my talk, like we are going towards the self-sustainability. We started slowly, but we are there. So if you see the book project is generating money every year, and our working groups are like financial affairs working group and BSB working group also started generating money for the association, as well as chapters. Benelux chapter this year actively involved in the Kazi project and generated money for the association, and the GS sponsorship. So these are the main sources of revenue we can generate to the association. So with that, I would like to thank you one and all for your attention. Yeah. Are there any questions?
Okay, thank you, Bala. Before we stay up there for a sec, I just want to put a bit of context around our finances. We have a 4-year contract with the European Commission. The funding that you see there, the 300,000, we received that in 4-year installments. We're currently in year 3. Year 3 will end October 6, 2019, and year 4 would end October 6, 2020. So that money is part of, the money that we receive from the Commission is part of that contract, and it has to be consumed, like all European projects, by the end of that contract. The money that we raise as revenues through different activities is our own funds, because we're a non-profit association. So going forward, whatever happens from our perspective in terms of future funding from the European Commission, and based on our board meeting yesterday, it seems to be quite positive that we will be able to continue beyond October 6th, 2020 with additional funding. We are generating revenue in part so that we have some funding of our own, because we exist as a nonprofit association, and we really want to make sure that this is sustainable long term, which is why we've tried to grow the events, especially this event. The annual conference is really an important event for MCAA, because not only does it serve our community for the General Assembly, but we have something to offer to the entire research community. And so with the input and the effort being done by Mustafa and Bala and everybody on the board and the volunteers, we're able to raise the profile of the association and also raise revenue for our future. So does anybody have any questions regarding the financial reports or comments? If so, raise your hand, and we have microphones here. Yes. Please, Gwen.
Hi, Matthew. Is the goal to be a self-sustaining organization after 2020? Completely self-sustaining without EC funding?
Sorry, not after 2020.
Yeah.
This is our long-term goal. So I mean, so the governance budget I showed you is a 300,000 is coming for the MCAA, but the total budget of the project is 1 million euros. So we are not there yet.
Okay.
So that's why I'm saying that we are going towards that. So right now, the amount of money we generated is 10% of the total project money.
Oh, wow.
So in 2020, it is not possible, but I wish we will be there soon.
But actually, to come back to that, that's a good point. So the project is actually funded around 1 million per year, but about 700 of that, 700,000 goes to the service providers that we have who do the back office work, who do the IT work, and then the other 300,000 goes to the association to be distributed for events and activities and microgrants. As far as sustainability, I think that was a real big concern. So Bala and myself were on the last board, and so we had a perspective when we were running for election last year of, we knew about the contract was going to end, and also we know that the association is growing, and the more members we get, the less money we have per member, because we have a fixed amount. So we're really focused on in the next contract, we will hopefully be able to increase our budget, and we also want to make sure that we're raising money for the sustainability of the association. And yes, maybe in the future, if we do grow and become very successful, then maybe there is a future where we rely on our own funds. But with the research funding working group and projects like the CASI project, I think own funds can come from other activities which are funded through grants. So there's a lot of potential for this association to get involved in projects and also raise money that way. Other questions? Just if you have any questions about this, raise your hand and please feel free. Okay, if there's no other questions, then please, I'd like to ask if anybody has any objections to the approval of the financial reports for 2018. If so, raise your hand. Okay, does anybody abstain? Okay, that's none. So I will consider this approved. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so I guess I'll get up. Okay, so one of the other activities of the General Assembly, which is mandated in our statutes, is the approval of honorary members. So honorary members are defined in our statutes as individuals who are not members of the MCAA, who the board and the General Assembly feels contributes to the promotion and the betterment of our community and the MCAA. So our first honorary member, if I'm not mistaken, is Mike Rogers, who was introduced earlier. He was one of the instrumental people within the commission to help get this organization started. And so the board nominates the honorary members, and the General Assembly has to approve the nominations. So, sorry. Is it this one? Okay, thank you. Okay, unfortunately the photos are not coming up. This is from the website, so it might have to do with the browser. But so the board has nominated 4 people as honorary members. I'll start with the first is Anton Zeilinger. He's a very esteemed professor of physics from the University of Vienna, and he has been invited to give a keynote speech for the association at the gala dinner. And one thing that we would like to do as a continuing tradition is that every year when we hold the annual conference and General Assembly, that we recognize a local researcher of stature and invite them to speak and to honor them as an honorary member, and hope that they also then contribute to the association and the promotion of the association. So Professor Zeilinger will be at the gala dinner this evening. Unfortunately, he could not attend today during the day. So the next 2 people, actually, Therese Lindahl, the national contact point for MSCA in Austria, and also Lil Reif, who also is an expert and works in the same office for the national contact point. I just want to say that as I started in MCAA in 2014 in Austria, in Vienna, our chapter was begun in 2014. I was chair for a year, then Mustafa was chair for a year, and throughout that time we've had an extremely close relationship with the national contact point here in Vienna. And when we approached them about organizing this event, they put all of their support and all of their effort in making this possible. They helped us to arrange the space, to arrange speakers, to advertise the event, to make local contacts. And I don't think we would have been as successful this year in attracting people and speakers if it wasn't for Lil and Therese, and we want to recognize them as honorary members. And the final person is Gareth O'Neill. Gareth is the chair of Eurodoc. Eurodoc is an association of doctoral student associations. So they are an umbrella association of national doctoral student associations. And in the last year, Gareth has worked with MCAA on certain policy initiatives, most importantly the Plan S, open publishing policy. He basically led the efforts for MCAA, Eurodoc, and the Young Academy of Europe to work together on joint statements about Plan S, but not just to write a statement, but to really engage with the policymakers, with the publishers, with the researchers. And we were able to, myself and also Matthias Björnman, one of the policy working group task force leaders, to go to Brussels and talk to the people at Science Europe and to Robert Jan Smits directly and give them our feedback from the standpoint of researchers. And I have to be honest, there's something new for me. I'd never really been engaged in any sort of policy. And I realized right away when we talked for the first time with them how much they didn't think of the things that we came up with in terms of how things like Plan S and changes in open access policy will impact researchers. And Gareth is here, and we're very happy to have him help us. I think he's a real expert in terms of science policy, and he's helping the MCA policy group navigate this process and improve what we're doing. So I think at this point we should improve the honorary members individually. So I'll start with Professor Zeilinger. Does anybody have any objections to Professor Zeilinger? Okay, does anybody abstain? Okay, so thank you, we've approved. So Therese Lindahl, any objections? Okay, any abstentions? Thank you. And Lil Reif? Okay, does anybody have any objections to her approval? Does anybody have any abstentions? No, thank you. And finally, Gareth O'Neill from Eurodoc. Does anybody object to his honorary membership? Okay, any abstentions? Okay, thank you very much. So we will award the honorary members and make that official at the gala dinner tonight. And if you're coming, that's fantastic. Thank you. That's. Okay, so the next item on our agenda is the appointment of our chairs of working groups and chapters. So as you know, we're organized into working groups and chapters. Each chapter and working group has a chair who's elected by the group, or in the case of a new chapter or working group, who is appointed based on the approval of the chapter or working group application. So every year we have to officially appoint the chapter and working group chairs, but they're working throughout the year. The elections happen at different times, and those chairs are actually ex officio board members. They take part in our quarterly board meetings, and they give feedback to the board in terms of making decisions. So, and they really are probably the most important people we have in terms of volunteers in carrying out activities for MCA in different locations and on different initiatives. So I'll let Mostafa present this in a minute.
So good morning, everyone. First of all, thank you very much to all of you, because it's Sunday morning, 9 o'clock, you are here, and it's really impressive. So big round of applause for every one of you. Thank you. And next, I'd really like to thank all the chairs and working group, all the chairs of chapters and working groups. So before we appoint the new chair, may I ask all the chairs to stand up and just say your name and the so working group or chapter. Start with Gabor.
Hi, I'm János Kristonvízi, chair of the Grants and Awards Working Group.
Hi, I'm Shannon Chance, and I'm standing in representing the Irish chapter chair.
My name is Emel Topuz. I am Turkish chapter chair.
Hi, I'm Irina Papageorgiou, and I'm the new chair of the Greek chapter.
Who is Russian chapter chair?
I'm Roel Sulman. I'm the chair of the Polish chapter. Hello, I'm Pablo Tomatis from Argentinian chapter.
Hello, Anifa Akhmedova from Bulgaria chapter, Rajaya.
Hi, Maya Misha from Croatian chapter and the host of the next GA.
Hello, I am Elizabeth Schmidt. I am the Brazil chapter.
Good morning, everyone. I am Angela Bellia, and I am the Events and the Networking Working Group Chair.
Hi, everybody. Luigi Garanti, Chair of the Italy chapter.
Hi, I'm Maria Mondejar, and I am Chair of the Danish chapter.
Hello, everyone. I am Hosam Zawba, Chair of African chapter.
Just beside you, we have a chair of the IDEA working group, Mauricio. And he is one of the founding members of MCAA.
Yes,
Hi guys, good morning. It's nice to see all of these happy faces. I'm chair of Norway chapter. My name is Deepak.
Hello everybody, my name is Agnieszka Weiner and I'm a new chair of the North American chapter.
That's it, you can look ahead. Oh, I'm sorry.
Hello, my name is Inga Zaitseva-Pärnaste. I'm a newly elected chapter of Baltic States chapter. It's a former Estonian chapter.
Hello, I'm Nadia Metwi, Vice Chair of GEMS, Gender Equality and Bulletin Research. On behalf of our chair, Magda Theodopoulos, she should be somewhere dealing with badge issues.
Cheng Junyu from China chapter.
Happy to host you in Vienna, Mohammed's Austrian chapter.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks a lot for your contributions. So now the new chairs of chapters and working group, first with Valerie from Communication Working Group, Gabor from Research Funding Working Group, Mohammed from Austrian chapter, Osam from African Working Group, Marina from German Working Group, Manuel Acosta, unfortunately he couldn't be here today, from Czech Republic chapter, Irini from Greece Working Group, Thomas from France chapter, Inga from Baltic chapter, Elizabeth from Brazil, Veronica from Swiss chapter, and Agnieszka from North American chapter, and Deepak from newly established Norway chapter. So this is my recommendation. You should ask for vote now.
Do we have to vote on that?
Yeah, we need to vote for that. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you've already been elected, don't worry.
Just one practical issue. Whoever got the Micro General Assembly grant and whoever are here today, please note that you need to scan your badges for both days. This is really important for the grants, and we need to make sure that you are here. So do that for the both days. That's it.
Okay, thank you, Mustafa. Just a few more points about chapters, actually. So obviously, we have 32 geographical chapters, but there are still places where we don't have chapters. And some of the places we've been talking about establishing chapters, and if you have any contacts or interest, then talk to Mustafa or myself, or any of the other chapter chairs, really. So Sweden, I know there's some discussion about a Swedish chapter, and I think that might happen pretty soon because we have a good concentration of MCA. Oh, I'm sorry, and also talk to Angela from the Events and Networking Working Group. One of the core functions of that working group is to help with activities in places where we don't have chapters. So Sweden is one. Mustafa was in Australia earlier this year for a conference and talked to some people about possibly setting up an Oceania chapter. We have contact with Euraxis in Japan, and there's interest in a Japanese chapter. And also a Middle East chapter. We have Mohammed from Palestine. Wait, where? Is he here? Ah, there he is, over there. Discussion about Middle East chapter. And possibly, this is really an early discussion, we threw it out there, is South Korea, if we have many fellows in South Korea, there's a Euraxis office there. So we actually we work closely with Euraxis, especially in non-European countries, because they have a similar mission, which is to support mobile researchers from Europe. And they help us a lot, especially in, I know the chairs from South America can tell you from Brazil and Argentina, they're very helpful. Also the North America chapter has a lot of collaboration with Euraxis. So if you have an idea for a chapter, as I said, please come and talk to the board, talk to Angela, and we'd be really happy to see more representation in different countries. So with that, I think we are at the conclusion of our General Assembly agenda. I guess I would ask if anybody has any other business. No? Okay. Okay, so actually that was pretty fast, and I just want to say thank you once again. Maybe a very quick point. Yeah, so about the agenda and actually this is a good time to talk about the annual conference. So registration for the annual conference will begin at 11. You're already registered if you're sitting here, so don't worry about that. Please be here at 11:30 to start the opening ceremony. We have a guest, or an honorary speaker from the Austrian government, the Ministry of Research, and then we have a keynote speaker from who's the Directorate General, the head of the Director General of the Directorate General in the European Commission, the EAC, which gives us our funding. And this is really, don't miss this. And then at 1 p.m. we have lunch. Oh, I'm sorry. Before we leave now, actually this is a problem. We wanted to do a group photo here before the conference started, so we got a lot of people. Unfortunately, the photographer, I told him to come at 10:45, but we have, one of our members is volunteering to also be a photographer. So actually, I would like to ask Fatima to come up to the stage and organize a group photo. Yes. Yes. So please, can I ask everybody to kind of congregate into the middle? So just slide in. You don't have to leave your seats necessarily, but just move closer to one another.